The top stories that we are covering and at our training is the White House is going to give out 400 million free N95 masks starting next week. And cloth masks and even surgical masks are not considered enough protection. It's the N95, which is at the top of the list, but it is very uncomfortable to wear. People, if you've ever worn one, they're not fun. The KN95, which are not particularly comfortable. I mean, they're a little stiff, etc. But those are the protections. So 400 million of them starting next week, and you'll be able to sign up. And yeah, sure. You, for example, the government is issuing I think 500 million doses of the testing, or 500 million tests. And yesterday was a soft opening for that. You go on the website, and guess what happened? At one point, 750,000 people were applying at the same time. And that happened throughout the day. It is flu season. Well, used to be. And the way the flu works is that every year it's a different strain, which is why they're guessing as to what's going to happen with the flu shot. And if they're able to get 60%, that's considered wildly successful in terms of the shot to avert the flu. 30% happens also, which is not very successful. Now keep in mind, the COVID vaccine, we're talking in the 90%. And if you've been boosted and Pfizer, 97%. So it's wildly successful. So flu season starts about September, October. It starts bubbling up. And the mutation kicks in. Every year it's different because it mutates every year. But it is seasonal. It starts September, October. By December, January, it's at the height of the infection rate. And then it peters out. And we don't have flu season usually in the spring, and certainly not in the summer. Now, why is there no longer flu season? Because it all has congealed into a season. And we have to stop. And this according to President Biden's COVID team and medical experts who are looking at this, public health experts, and say we have to re-look at this whole thing. It's no longer flu season. You can't look at it that way. We have to look at effectively at respiratory illness season. It's that season where you don't differentiate because you get the flu and COVID at the same time. And why is the flu gone down so dramatically? Well, a couple things. It is far less transmissible than COVID, and certainly less than Omicron, which is insanely transmissible. It's been described as a brush fire in the middle of the summer in brush that has not received any rain or water in 100 years. It goes through that area like, well, wildfire, and that's the comparison that's being made. And I don't think anybody's exaggerating in terms of the Omicron transmissibility. The flu, I mean a lot of people get the flu. Tens of millions of people get the flu every year. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at some stats. In the flu season before COVID arrived, 2018 to 2019, 29 million Americans were infected. More than 380 flu-related hospitalizations, 28,000 people died. That's in 1 year. In the meantime, we've had hundreds of thousands of people die. What has it been around? A little over 2 years, COVID? And we're already north of 800,000 people that have died. I mean, far more serious, of course, and far more transmissible. So what the new normal is being described by health experts, public health authorities. It requires that COVID just be considered one of the respiratory viruses that are going around. And that includes influenza, flu, what's called RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, whatever the hell that is, and a whole bunch of others. And the health experts, this is particularly President Biden today, wrote that COVID-19 must now be considered among the risks posed by respiratory viral illnesses combined. So the flu season, as we know it, is going to be gone. And how do you deal with it? Well, the problem is there's so many people and it's so serious. As we know, in certain pockets, the healthcare industry, the hospitals, the clinics are completely overwhelmed. So how do we deal with it? Well, you have to rethink everything. I mean, already during flu season, the hospitals can be overwhelmed. I mean, there's no question. Tons of people go in. With COVID, it's astronomically difficult, and we've seen hospitals completely overwhelmed, region by region. And are we going to have enough money among resources to actually add hospital beds? Probably not. And even if we do, there aren't enough health workers to man those beds. So be prepared to think of flu season as gone, and it's, even though it's harder to say respiratory illness season, and COVID is not seasonal. It's there all year long. The flu, why is it only hit you in the winter? Well, a couple of reasons. First of all, and I didn't know this, the flu virus actually does better in the winter. This is not bacteria, which loves a warm, moist atmosphere. Flu does just great in the winter, and and it's seasonal. They know it's coming. They literally can figure out, okay, this is the season, this is when it stops, this is when it starts, and you can't do that with COVID. You can't. It's just feeding it with vaccinations, the number one protection, and social distancing, really difficult, and protection, the mask, and it's not going to be easy. Matter of fact, it's going to be with us forever. And that's the bad news, but the good news is the vaccines are very effective. They're actually going to be tweaked so they become more effective. Mask wearing is going to increase, and better quality masks. And simply the way business schools deal with COVID is simply going to increase the protection that we are now experiencing. Coming up, contact tracing. Remember that? Have you heard of contact tracing in the last few weeks, last couple of months? It's disappeared. Why? That I'm going to share with you when we come back. Kfi Am 640, let's check in with Jennifer.
Olympic athletes are being warned not to speak out on human rights issues while they are in China next month. The Olympic Human Rights Watch thinks any criticism of the country could get them arrested. The state of California is launching a program aimed at helping college students pay for school. The College Corps will give students $10,000 if they commit 450 hours community service in an academic year. And Lake Elsinore is clamping down on short-term vacation rentals like those booked on Airbnb and Vrbo. Homeowners renting their places out will now be required to get an annual business license, comply with the transient occupancy tax, and follow building and public safety codes. We've got your drive with DKFI in the sky next.
Norm Reed's Honda Superstore has the solution to get you in your next Honda now. No matter how you shop, take on 2022 with a super selection and a super experience. Choose from hundreds of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hondas. Or see how it pays to pre-order when you reserve your favorite new model and get priority status on your shipment. And if you want to swap your current vehicle, we're the place to trade in and trade up. Plus, it's easy to return your Honda lease to one of our 5 Honda Lease Return Super Centers. It's time to start 2022 with a super experience. Visit our super award-winning Norm Reed's Honda Superstore locations in Huntington Beach, West Covina, the Irvine Auto Center, and the #1 Honda store in the world in the Cerritos Auto Square. Plus, we're now open in Vista. Shop online at normreeds.com. As for Global Honda New Vehicle Sales 2021.
Save on your supplements at Whole Foods Market. Take 20% off Orgain and Navitas plant-based protein powders and superfood powders through January 25th. Plus an extra 10% off for Prime members while supplies last. See more on the Whole Foods Market app.
SoCal weather from KFI, partly cloudy today, with highs in the upper 50s to the mid-60s. This report is brought to you by Whole Foods Market. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, let's go places. We're going to the 22.
We've had a lot of Orange County problems there this morning. Here's another one. Listen up, this is the eastbound 22 Tustin Avenue before you get over to 55. Gresham Lane there, it's really starting to back up things now on the eastbound 22 as you leave the I-5. Prepare for that. A little bit better news if you're heading into Tustin on the south side. Before the 55, there was quite a long lane problem there. That has cleared, so we'll slow on through. To Hollywood, southbound 101 coming out of Swanga Pass at Hollywood Boulevard, a very popular off-ramp. A lot of activity in that point in between the right lane and the off-ramp, called the sore point of all things, but tour bus and a pickup truck. And finally, the drive Seal Beach to LAX, southbound 405, it's still in pretty good shape to the airport, but LAX itself, like all airports, kind of confusing spot these days, so be prepared. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Jeff Law.
This report is sponsored by LA Super Bowl HT.com.
Live the glory of the NFL and celebrate the conclusion of the NFL's biggest season ever at Super Bowl Experience presented by Lowe's. Tickets start at just $20 and kids 12 and under attend free every day. Download NFL One Pass to purchase your tickets today. Opens February 5th at the LA Convention Center.
There's a house down the street from mine that's for sale, and there's been a dumpster there for weeks, right next to the for sale sign. And I thought, oh, those people don't know about opendoor.com, because if they did, they sell their homes a new-fashioned way. It's one without the hassles and hurdles of listings and showings. And with Open Door, you can skip the hard parts of selling the house. You wouldn't have to make the repairs yourself or do any prep work. So you just go to opendoor.com, answer a few really basic questions about your house. Then Open Door will take that information and compare it to the other homes in the neighborhood. I went through the process. I tried it, and within minutes, I got a real competitive offer for my home. So sell your home the new-fashioned way at opendoor.com/KFI. Offer eligibility varies. Open Door is represented by Open Door Brokerage Inc., license number 020-61130 in California, and Open Door Brokerage LLC in its other markets. Sell your home the new-fashioned way at opendoor.com/KFI.
Hi, it's Dr. Wendy Walsh. I'm a professor of health psychology, and I teach that obesity and weight gain are a health condition, and you can jumpstart your treatment through a surgical intervention. West Medical can help you lose 30, 40, or 100 pounds. They offer the most advanced bariatric weight loss solutions that will change your life. Call 1-800-WEST-MED for a free consultation. Most PPO insurance covers this. That's 1-800-WEST-MED or visit westmedical.com.
Feel incredible because I called 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
When I think of being a personal injury lawyer, I think of all the people who don't know what to do and that I can help them. I'm Susan Owen, managing partner at Owen Patterson & Owen. When you are in an accident, you don't know what the future holds for you physically, emotionally, financially. It is so traumatizing, and people often overlook that. If you've been injured, call Owen Patterson & Owen, 888-OPO-WIN. And we do, 888-OPO-WINS, or go to OPOLaw.com.
Open the door to unlimited possibilities when you enroll at a California community college. Whether you want to transfer to a four-year university or earn an associate degree, you'll find the support to help make it all happen. Classes can fill up quickly, so enroll today at icangotocollege.com.
Checking things off of your DMV to-do list is now a lot faster, because now the DMV has made it even easier to take care of tasks online. It all starts there. Maybe you need to get your vehicle registration renewed or transfer a title. You can get it all done online from the comfort of your couch. So if you have DMV tasks, save yourself some time and get them done online. dmv.ca.gov. Ready when you are.
With school back in session, there's plenty to worry about. CalHealth can help with free COVID-19 emotional support. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhealth.org today. NeoU is the game-changing fitness app with real-time coaching, daily live workouts with friends, and thousands of on-demand classes like strength, boot camp, yoga, and more. And right now, NeoU has an offer too good to miss. Get a 50% lifetime discount and pay just $3.99 per month when you sign up by January 31st. That's a lifetime 50% discount on your NeoU subscription, plus a 60-day free trial to kickstart your 2022 fitness routine. Get started now at neoufitness.com. That's neoufitness.com.
Hey, it's John Philbin. Is chronic knee pain keeping you from the things you love? You need to check out HyperFlex Knee. HyperFlex isn't your grandparents' old knee replacement. It's a high-performance procedure using cutting-edge VR surgical technology. This technology creates hyper-precision and hyper-results that has most patients walking within 30 minutes of surgery and going home the same day. Call 844-HYPERFLEX for a free consultation. 844-HYPERFLEX. Covered by most health insurances. That's 844-HYPERFLEX. Or hyperflex.com.
I'm Steven Ranella, host of the Meat Eater podcast and the Netflix original series Meat Eater. As a hunter and wildlife enthusiast, the question comes up, how can you justify killing and eating animals that you love and protect? Well, that's part of what we wrangle with on the Meat Eater podcast, along with broader and often funnier discussions about living an outdoor life in the modern world. We insist on sharing challenging opinions to inspire thought and action. So listen to the Meat Eater podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm not a Todd Spitzer fan.
He just rubs me the wrong way in terms of his attitude.
But he's doing his job, and I would like DAs to do their job.
Jerry and Shannon, weekdays at 10 a.m.
They're actually enforcing the laws in Orange County, and they're not in Los Angeles.
on KFI.
Good morning, Joe Handel here, KFI AM 640. A story or stories I want to share with you. One of them that's trending, and that is the soft launch yesterday by the White House on its site for the COVID testing. People can order 4 at-home tests per residential address, and theoretically that's what you're going to get. And this yesterday, the website had 750,000 people at the same time on it throughout a good part of the day. So, good luck with that. Another COVID story I want to share with you, and this is one that you probably haven't thought of because it's no longer top of mind. You remember when COVID first came out a couple of years ago? And one of the first things that occurred before the vaccine, before any treatments were out there, it was contact tracing. Remember that? You don't hear any more about contact tracing, and there's a couple of reasons for it that I'm going to share with you. Money that was used for contact tracing has been diverted because contact tracing, when it comes to especially the Omicron, is effectively useless. Now, when you have contact tracing, by law, for example, someone goes in the hospital and tests, and syphilis is found, for example. Well, the contact tracing starts virtually immediately because it's considered such a horrific disease, although today with an antibiotic you can knock it out within 24 hours probably. But obviously not Omicron particularly. So here's the problem with contact tracing. When you have a few cases, it makes sense. Now, it's difficult to do when someone comes in, has been tested positive for COVID, and then immediately, who have you seen? Where have you been? What restaurants, for example, did you eat at in the last several days? And then the contact tracer contacts the resident, the restaurant, and says, go through your receipts, go through your credit card receipts, and let's track down the people who are there, and see if any of them have COVID, and we can start the quarantine, or tell them, hey, you don't want to be around people, stay at home. And so the cycle goes, and it makes sense. But what happens when you have a disease, a virus, that spreads faster than anything you can do with contact tracing? That by the time you actually reach someone, they've already infected people. Because the incubation period, we're being told, is 2 days. Among the health experts, 2 to 5 days. 2 at the most transmissible part, and up to 5 days. Well, how long do you think it takes to contact trace? You're making phone calls. You're tracking people down. Oh, and how many people who in fact have COVID and have been reported and are asked to give names? Do you really want to snitch? Of course not. So that was a huge problem. So now you have a situation where it has become virtually useless. Omicron is spreading too quickly, and contact tracing will never keep up with it. By the time someone's reached, it's out there. The number of people who have COVID is astronomical. There isn't close to enough people that where contact tracing could even start and make any kind of a dent in the issue. And so across the board, it is completely useless. However, I guess there's enough success to where the state of California is pumping in tens of millions of dollars still, although less than last year. You've got counties that are pumping in money for contact tracing. And I don't even know if the city of Los Angeles has a department or has part of the health department that engages in contact tracing. But you're not going to get a phone call anytime soon. And one of the tools of the that are used against the virus has beat us, especially Omicron. We've lost that battle. And let's move on. Even the vaccination battle we have lost in many, many ways. We're not close to herd immunity because you have a third of Americans that simply won't vaccinate. And so some of the tools that we use, one has become useless in and of itself. The other one is being ignored in too many cases. All that adds up to the battle itself is being lost, except for those who vaccinate and follow the rules and actually quarantine. And here, we're absolutely crazy about quarantining. Programming here and the sales team and management, let me tell you, you come close. If you're working here, you come close to being exposed, someone who's been exposed, or actually who's cousin. And then the person down the road has been exposed, you're quarantined. And a lot of it depends. And yesterday we did a story on how a lot of people aren't quarantining at all, even knowing they have COVID, because they need the work. They can't take the time off. They don't get paid. There's no sick leave. We did that story. So we've got to look at this. There's challenges ahead of us, big ones. Coming up, Native Americans have always had a problem, or many of them, with the word squaw in reference to indigenous women. A big fight is brewing up in Northern California, Squaw Valley, where the 1960 Olympics took place, the Winter Olympics. They don't want the place to be named Squaw Valley anymore. Maybe they're going to follow Prince's lead, the place formerly known as Squaw Valley. We'll come back with that. Jennifer, you want to take it from here?
I think I should. More than $250,000 has been raised to help catch Sean Duvall Smith, the man cops say killed a young woman inside a furniture store in Hancock Park.
We do believe it's a suspect is home. And that's in part by the fact that he came on foot, left on foot. He's carrying a backpack, which is consistent with homeless people carrying extra clothing with them and sleeping out on the streets.
LAPD Lieutenant Paul Radke says that 24-year-old Brianna Cooper was stabbed to death last week. Police say Smith is black, 31 years old, 6'3", 190 pounds, and is known to hang out in areas like Pasadena, Santa Monica, West Hollywood, Covina, and San Diego. An 18-year-old woman charged in federal court in L.A. along with 3 gang members for the murder of an off-duty police officer has been ordered without bail. Prosecutors say Haley Grissom is the girlfriend of one of the men. An FBI affidavit says the guy admitted they were driving around last week looking to make money by robbing someone. Officer Fernando Arroyos and his girlfriend were out house hunting when they were robbed. Arroyos was killed in a shootout. The House Committee investigating the U.S. Capitol riot has subpoenaed Rudy Giuliani and 3 other members of Donald Trump's legal team. The lawyers filed bogus legal actions in 2020 in the election and published Trump's voter fraud claims in the months after the election. The Biden administration says it has a 10-year plan to address the wildfire problems across California and other western states. The U.S. Forest Service says the plan is to thin out 20 million acres of national forests and 30 million acres of other federal, state, tribal, and private lands. The department says its plan is to use prescribed burns and other measures to thin out fire-prone areas. Well, the cause of death for the late actor Sidney Poitier has been released. The LA County death certificate issued yesterday says Poitier died of heart failure, Alzheimer's disease, and prostate cancer. The Oscar winner died in his home in Los Angeles January 6th. He was 94. And LA will host this year's Summit of the Americas in June, a meeting of leaders in North, South, and Central America and the Caribbean. It's held every 3 years to promote regional cooperation. The summit was originally scheduled for 2021, but was postponed because of the pandemic. We've got an update on the 22.
Yeah, that's good news. Good traffic news is a good thing, I would think. But driving towards Tustin, there was quite a problem eastbound 22 before the 55. It's all gone, so you should be okay driving first 55. Now, downtown Los Angeles through Mid-City, LA, that's a typical slowdown from Montauk to La Cienega. That's the worst of it. Eastbound, however, it's in great shape. PCH from downtown, no problem at all. Now, North 5, going through that big old construction zone, almost done. I'm going to park up the east side, go up to about Valley View, then again around the 605, and after that, the normal zone into the interchange. Finally, East 105, 605 LAX. Usual stuff. So far, all lanes are open all the way across. Clear sky helps get today faster. And just far.
The LA Kings kept pace with the Tampa Bay Lightning throughout much of last night's match at Crypto.com Arena. Here's Arthur Kalias tying it up in the second period.
Power play has 14 seconds left. Along the wall, Jersey for Kaliev with a shot.
Later, the Lightning hogged all the momentum to overtake LA. The final score was 6-4. The Ducks host the Colorado Avalanche tonight at 7. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports. If you are thinking about refinancing, and it makes a lot of sense these days to refinance your home. Interest rates are still historically low. Inflation hasn't hit them yet. Boy, is inflation here. Also, the equity in your home has gone up dramatically because home values have gone up so dramatically. So that equity is doing nothing for you. Why wouldn't you borrow against the equity and then put it to work for you? You pay 3%, for example. You make 5%. Doesn't that make sense? Or you can use the money for anything else. You know, remodeling and college tuition, it doesn't matter. You're paying so little for the money. And HMS Capital, where I have gone twice for mortgages, refis, is the only lender I know that actually encourages you to apply with other lenders at the same time. They're that confident they can get you the best deal. Call 833-255-5698, 833-255-5698. Visit hmscapital.com.
Snowbound winds from KFI, partly cloudy with some fog this morning. Some more sunshine later in the day with highs in the upper 50s to mid-60s. We should have more sunshine all day tomorrow and warmer temperatures with highs reaching around 70. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
By now, you've heard the news. Boosters for Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson vaccines are available. They help keep your immunity strong and help keep you and others protected against COVID-19 and its variants. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find out if you're eligible and to find a booster near you. Let's keep each other safer and healthier this winter. Get your booster, and don't forget to get your flu shot, too. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
This is Leland Smith, owner of Service Champions Plumbing, Heating, and AC, with another good deed for free. Our technician Alex was wrapping up an early morning tune-up recently when he was approached by his customer who said, "Don't you guys do good deeds for free? My back is bothering me and I need some tables and chairs moved. Would you mind helping?" Would he mind? We live for good deeds. Turns out the customer had just finished hosting a graduation party for his granddaughter, and there were about 3 tables and 30 chairs that needed to be folded and moved to the shed. Alex told him to sit down and relax his back. He'd handle it all. 10 minutes later, everything was folded and put away, and the customer was thrilled. That's what Good Deeds for Free is all about, making our customers happy. Look us up at ServiceChampions.com. Service Champions, plumbing, heating, AC, and good deeds for free. Service Champions, plumbing, heating, AC, and good deeds for free.
Accident, going to the call Jacob and Mommy. Call Jacob.
Live and local.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station.
KFI AM 640. Bill Handel here. Wednesday, January 19th. One of the top trending stories is the 5G problem that the major carriers and the airlines are in the middle of fighting over. And the carriers, Verizon, AT&T, the big ones, are holding off on installing the 5G networks near airports. because the airlines are saying those 5G networks and 5G signals can actually get in the way of specifically the altimeter that deals with planes landing. You've heard that the cockpit, the recorded voice, 50 feet, 40 feet, 30 feet as they land the airplane. I mean, pilots don't guess at that. And the airlines are saying that could interfere. And what they'll do, I'm assuming if that kicks in, the warning, out they go. And they just won't fly into that airport. And they're saying, too dangerous, and we're canceling everything around there. So, boy, is there a fight going on. There is another time, yet it has come back, where we have a name issue, and this one is with the word squaw. And, I can see that. I think that's a legitimate argument. I can't see the Indians, for example, how that is pejorative. I can see Redskins, maybe, but all references to people are now gone, especially football and baseball. Boston Patriots. Okay, they're still around, and who's offended by that? Well, people who are descendants of folks who were hanged for treason, I guess, during the Revolutionary War. All right, but that's a very limited group. The point is that there are indigenous people who live in the United States, tribe after tribe, that are really attacking anything in reference to an Indian name, other than the name of the tribe or something associated, which they think is not particularly offensive, and there aren't too many words that are not. And so the word squaw, 100 California place names use the word squaw. In the federal system, 660 places have the word squaw. Our most favorite one, or our most famous one, is Squaw Valley, where the Winter Olympics took place up in Northern California. I think it's like near